Good morning. Welcome. Today is Sunday, May 10th. Happy Mother's Day if you are a mother or you have a mother. Hopefully, you have a mother that you can say Happy Mother's Day to. How's it going? Yeah, it's Sunday. This is the Sunday live stream. My name is Angela. We just do HTML, CSS, and JavaScript on this channel. We practice front end. That's it. Don't read into it. It's just practice time. Hang out, chill, have fun, enjoy front end. That's what we do here. We are working on a project that I have called Colorado. Let's launch her so we can see. And no, of course not. Hang on. Okay, the last time I did this, how do I get I have this problem with the window and my displays. The mouse doesn't work if it opens in one window and I drag it to the next. Do you see here how the mouse doesn't work? It's really annoying. So hang on. Oh, God. It's so annoying. Okay, hang on. I can do a thing. I think I can just do... and then force it to refresh. And then I have to rearrange the displays every single time. Such a pain in my ass. Okay, now our mouse is working. Our pointer is working. I don't know, man. I gotta find a solution for that. So, okay, here's the thing that we're working on. It's called Colorado. We've been working on this for a while. We started this back in February. February of this year. What other year would it be, Angela? We started this back in February. Then on April 1st, well, really it was the middle of March. The reason we didn't finish this in March like I had planned is that my internet went out for about a week. So when I finally got back online, we had to switch over to another project that started on April 1st. Really, we were building a website for my 30 days of vanilla JavaScript project, which, if you didn't catch it, it was a load of fun. I streamed every day during the month of April to get better at JavaScript, and boy, did I ever. Not perfect by any means, but wow, it was a time. It was great. I had a blast. We had a blast. One moment, please. Allergies. One moment. I have the windows open today, so we'll see how that goes. It is a beautiful day. I don't want to close the windows, but if it gets too noisy, I absolutely will. Also, my allergies could not be worse, and my Costco Claritin isn't lifting a finger to help me at all. So, anyways, my point is that we started this in February. We had an interruption, and then now we're back finishing this, and we're really on the tail end of this. I feel like we're a good 2/3 done with this. We've spent a lot of time working on it. Several streams were dedicated to the navigation alone because I really wanted to nail down a system for accessible sub menus. Oh, why? No. Did we not test this yesterday? Hang on, I think it's the same problem that we had yesterday with the function. So we'll do that first. Clearly we didn't test. We did a little refactoring of the JavaScript yesterday where for years I've been doing DOM content loaded and I've been putting all of my JavaScript in one file. JavaScript is a bit of a weakness for me, or it has been up until the last month or so, couple of months. And I just don't write that much JavaScript because of that. So I am very UI focused. And I was like, I tell myself every year, I want to get better at this. So I sat down, I started daily practice getting better at it. And I've just learned so much. I mean, it's not even that I learned a lot about just how to write JavaScript. It's just that I think about it differently. I'm paying more attention to how I'm actually loading things. I'm taking this more modular approach, which I know is the modern way to do things by using type module. I've been using the defer attribute and, loading everything in DOM, initializing everything in DOM content loaded. And it was time for a change. It was time for a more modern approach. Now, the more modern approach also means that I'm making some mistakes because I'm migrating things from the old way to the new way. So clearly we need to, I'm pretty sure this. Okay, and I was actually thinking about this. We don't need these additional functions. We actually just don't need them. We don't need a function just around this. So this is good. I'm actually glad that this happened. You don't have to, I don't think you need to put something in a function just to have it be in a function, right? It should serve a purpose. These things, if they're just being initialized immediately after, why do they have to be inside a function? What's happening here? This is the conclusion that I'm coming to. So I don't think all these extra things need to be inside functions, and that's the reason it's not working. We have helper functions here that do get initialized inside these other event listeners inside the for each loop. Here's our event listener, or excuse me, here's just the helper function that powers the search and the menu. And then we have our event listener for the escape key to close things. So I think that that's really the only thing that we needed to do. There we go. And then here's my mouse. We should be able to hit escape to close, right? And then again, here's my mouse, escape to close. And then here's my mouse, escape to close. Good, all of that's working. And you know what? I've been complaining now for 2 days about the display of my buttons. Let's just go ahead and fix that. Okay, so this is fixed. And then let's go ahead and fix, here's what happened. I remember doing this. I don't remember why I did it. I changed the default display property of the buttons to display block. Buttons by default are display inline block, and I generally don't change that. If I need a button to be display block, I will do it on a button by button basis. For whatever reason, I did this. I don't remember. I'm sure it will present itself, and then we'll just go ahead and change that particular button. But I do want this to be, just by removing that, we should go back to display. No. Why? Come on. Is it because of that? Is it because it's because of that? Why did I change it to why? I wonder why I changed this to wrap. Well, I stand by my decision to not have the buttons globally be display block. I wonder why I did this though. For mobile. What possible? That's why. Well, we just need to be more specific. So let's fix that. Let's go ahead and fix that. So this would all be inside of our, in here. So I don't think we want to do this here. It would be, we're looking at our navigation. Where are you? Oh. So here's our top level, main nav. Then we have our LIs. Then we have our second level, submenu. So I think we just want to do I have submenu? Yeah. So I'm going to take this off of the top level and then put it here. No, that didn't. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, I do need this to be. Okay, so it needs to be that we got this. We got this. This is what happens when you add submenus to a system that is pretty tight. It screws it up a little bit. That's all right. That is completely fine. Challenge accepted. Okay, so I know that I need this top level LI to be no wrap. And then I know that I need so if I put flex wrap okay, so I need the top level to be no wrap. I need this to be wrap. Wait, what? Why? I just need this to be why does wrap have that much power? That's what why does wrap have so much power? Shouldn't we be changing the flex direction? I feel like we should be changing the flex direction. But I don't want the button to be in a column. Okay, this was working. Why did it stop working? Because it was working. So what changed? Because I haven't touched the navigation. I haven't done anything to the navigation. So what other styles did I add? That screwed this up. And it was recent too, because this has been working. So what else happened to the top? It must have been the size. It has to be the size of the button, because it wouldn't be wrapping 49 by 48. It's because I added this border. That's why. It's because I added the border to the top level navigation. So we just need to account for this border. That 1 pixel pushed it to the second line. Okay, that's cool. I can work with that. Okay. So maybe we want to, okay, Angela, you got this. Okay. Come on, there we go. Do I want to put... So if I have a border on the right, so left, right. So I have a border on the right of every single anchor element. And then I put a border here also on the right. Wait, left, right. So there's a border there on the right, and then I needed a border there on the right. I mean, I guess the easiest way to do this is the fussiest way to do this, which is to recalculate the padding. Okay, I guess. What a pain in the ass. Really? So I have to calculate 1 pixel of padding because Flex Wrap has that much control. Okay, what's a better solution? I feel like there's a better way to deal with this. I'm not dealing with this. What's a better way to deal with those buttons? Should we just make them look like buttons instead of having like borders? Kind of leaning towards that. Where's the button? Where are you, button? Here. I don't want to make them green because that's the active state. We could make them like gray with a green. I think they already have a green arrow. What's an accessible gray color? But I like the border. What is the space in between? There's no space in between. What if we can I do something like gap 1 pixel? Doesn't really, but that doesn't really do anything. Okay, so there's a better solution here. I think it might actually be better to set the width. So I don't want to mess around with calculating 1 pixel of padding. I actually think that it would be better, since we change the anchor element to display block, we have a lot of, well, duh. Oh my God, Angela, just increase that. Okay, we're, oh my gosh. Okay. So we're just going to increase this. We're already calculating I got there eventually with time, 25 minutes. It only took me about 20 minutes to get there. We're already calculating the width of the anchor element to account for the button. We're just going to increase that by 1 pixel. We could even increase it by 2 pixels just to be on the safe side. And then we can add our border back in. Look right here. It's literally right there. I'm just going to do 50 pixels. We'll give ourselves a 1 pixel cushion, and then we can keep our border, and I think it's going to be fine. Oh, you can see, you can see. Okay, we'll go back to 49. You can still see it though. Maybe I can't worry about that. This is the other problem. Oh, look at. And then I think we should take the border off. Okay, left, right. And then I think we should take it off here for mobile. There's still space over there though. Why? Is it because this doesn't have any border, but you can see it. That's what we're seeing. Why does that have space over there? Oh, probably because if I take the border off, I have to change this. Yeah. Wow, that's super fussy. That's really fussy. We have styles for mobile, so it's not a big deal to just... Why is it up here too? Why do we have that up here also? Left, right, border left. It's because there's a border up there too. Okay. Well, this is on the anchor element. So, I mean, I guess that's just how it works sometimes, right? Sometimes things are fussy. And it's been annoying me, so we're just going to fix it now. So here's our mobile styles. Change this back to that. And then what did we say? Take the border off the main nav button. Do I have styles here for that? Nope. Main nav button. So border right, none. Okay. All right. And then this also has, we're just going to say, I guess we're just going to say border none. Let's see if that works. Does it look right? So but why does this have border on the bottom and not that? So it's not on the button, it's here. Or is it here? It's here. I don't think, oh, we do. But look, there's still, oh, whoops. There's still, yeah, and I don't think we need a border here. I think it's easier. Okay. Too many borders. Too many borders. There's too many borders. It's too much. I can't handle it. Okay, so this is for the main UL, top and bottom. You get a pass. This, we're taking this out. This is on the anchor element. Also on the anchor element. Gone. Nope. Well. Gone. Too many borders. Anything with a border. Gone. Done. Look at, clearly we need a new strategy. Okay, but this is the UL, so I'm okay with that. And I'm going to change this back to 48. Up here. Boy, wouldn't it be amazing if we could just come up with a new solution and look at everything that was there that was just to deal with a bunch of stinking borders. Okay, now let's see what we got. So here's what I think we should do. I think instead of trying to put a border on each anchor element, I think we should, you see there? Can you see there where it is just on the LIs? Let's just put a border on the left and then this still has a hover, but it doesn't need to be separate. So the borders are going to be there. And it's going to be just fine. And then we're going to delete all this other stuff. So here are the main styles right here. Main nav li right here. So we get one border. So it's left, right. It's going to be border right. 1 pixel solid. And it's going to be our medium gray color. Oh, light gray maybe. Well, what are the gray? What are my options? Okay. And then on the first of type, right over here, we could even do it on the UL. Or we could just say first of type and do it on the left. And then we're going to delete everything else. We'll check mobile. We might have to do a couple things for mobile. So first of type. Border left. Now we've got a border there. We've got a border there. That's it. No more borders. Okay, now what happens on mobile? So I think the only thing that we need to do, you can see here that there are borders here on mobile. Okay, fine. So let's we're good for desktop. Let's take out what we removed. Look at everything that we're deleting. This is just for desktop. Oh. There's still some weird border things happening here. What probably is just, we just need more specificity. Yeah. So we just need, for this, we just need more specificity, right? So the main nav is the UL, and then we've got the LI. but not the submenu. So can we do main nav, not submenu? So probably some of these styles are important for all LIs. That's fine. So let's do not submenu, and same here. It literally had, well, submenu. Had no, why did that have no impact? Main nav. My specificity isn't quite right, I don't think. I feel like this probably implies these are siblings. Yeah, it's not letting me. No. Okay. God, I don't miss this. I remember this. This is, I'm just sitting here thinking, yep, this is why I don't build submenus. Okay. So this is actually border right none, because we still need this border bottom. Got it. And then we're just going to change this to sub menu. Oh, none. You know what though? This is still a good trade-off. There we go. I can see it. It just, even a pixel sometimes is like screaming at me. Doesn't look right. This is still, an acceptable trade-off because we have still deleted a ton of stuff. So, okay. So let's see. Now mobile. There is still a border though around. I think we just have to, yeah. remove these for mobile now, the left and right for mobile. I think that's all we have to do for mobile. And we'll be good. So we're just going to, which is totally normal. I still think this was a good, really good trade-off. So we would take this out. No, we need this. So these are correct here. And then this is none. And I think that's all we have to do for mobile. Oh, but this I think we want to be light gray. Or our accent color. Let's try light gray. And we're inside mobile, so I think this would also be light gray. Wait. Let's just change this to our accent color. Which is non-existent. Oh, because it's the same color green. Well, what was the color we're using on desktop? What's that? Alt green. For the love of the traveling Mary. So okay, there's two here. Where's the other one? So this needs to be gray. Yes. This needs to be alt green. The submenu needs to be alt green. That's fine. Okay, here it is. There we go. Okay, but why do... Okay, so, but why is there a border there at the top of this and not one there at the top of that? Am I insane? Okay, so let's delete the things that we know we are not using, and we're gonna find it. I will find you. I will track you down. I will find you. I still think that we did a good thing here. We sort of went back to square one and we deleted a lot of things that we really didn't need. So I definitely stand by that. So it's the difference between blog and portfolio. What happens on desktop? Yeah, it's there. And it's there too. But I thought that that was the top and bottom of the main nav. So there, it's there. Well, I am going to revisit this. For now, I am actually happy with the existing changes. I think it was a good thing that we deleted that stuff and started fresh. I think it's a little cleaner. I would like to figure out why that's happening in that one spot. So this is for desktop. This is for the left and right on desktop. No more borders on the anchor element. This is to transition. I don't know if we need to do this. Yeah, we don't need to transition this border anymore. Here's our focus hover active. Here's our sizing. Here's our button. I wonder if it's a box shadow. Is it this box shadow? Because this is the desktop, but a box shadow can look like a border sometimes. So maybe we have to take out the box shadow on the submenu. Again, this is desktop, so this is right. This is for specificity. This is also for specificity. Now here's the mobile styles. So, oh, this is the box shadow for the entire drawer. This is the border on the top of the unordered list. This is the border in between the elements in the drawer. This is to undo the desktop. Okay, so we put in box shadow none, so that's not what that is. And this is the light green color for the submenus. So yeah, I'm not sure where that extra border is coming from. It's a mystery. Okay. Well, that was much needed work, but let's move on. We're almost an hour in. I haven't said hello to anybody, although looks like it's a pretty quiet day today. There's only one person in the chat, Malik Robinson, Go Elmo. Thank you, my friend, for joining me today. It's just you and me. We're hanging out. There's a couple other people here. Appreciate you. It'll be a nice, quiet work day. And that is just fine with me. So let's keep going. All right. So, you know what? We fixed our navigation. There's still one tiny little bug. We'll look for it another time. We got the main part done, right? Let's see here. Dante is here. Welcome, Dante. Dante found me during the 30 days of vanilla JavaScript. Has been a great addition to the channel. Hanging out in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm happy to have you. Okay, so fixing nav.js bug and styles. Are we finished? No, I'm still, I'm going to keep going for another hour. So I am not finished. We got another hour to party. Wait a second. Did I push this? Wait, did I not add this? Git add. Git commit nav.js bug and styles. Oh, the cars racing up and down the street. It's too much for me sometimes. You know what I think? You know what I think people should do? People who are tempted to make noise, here's what I would like you to do. I would like you to go home and be quiet and read a book and be quiet. That's what I would like you to do. Can we all agree on that? Okay. We can go ahead and add, we actually did we had a good kind of busy day yesterday where we were just making sure the pages were built, that we had, oh, and I don't think I updated the title tag for page template. So let's go do that. I didn't add anything yet for blog. We're going to work on that this week. We got portfolio, we got about, we got contact done. I really would just like to fill in some images and maybe some styles today. I think today can be a light day. I think that that's okay. Let's fix the title tags for the page template. Yeah, I didn't fix this at all. Why didn't I fix this yesterday? Page template. I guess that's fine. All right. So I'm going to leave the kitchen sink HTML there. Let's add some content to the about page. I don't really have anything planned for the about page. Maybe we should look at our designs. We can definitely go ahead and make a contact form today. I think it would be fun to do some form validation as well. So let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and fill in the contact page and get started working on a form. I think that that's a great task for the rest of the day. Clearly, I had no plan other than show up and get some work done. So, okay. So let's take out we've got form styles. So we'll just take out, here is our header, here is our hero, here's our main section with a wrap. I don't think we need all of these sections. We'll leave the form elements. Yeah, we'll leave the form elements and we will cobble together a form. Oh, we did a good job. Look I even added. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's take out upload, range, and date. And I'm going to take out the extra button. I'll leave the reset. I kind of like including a reset with my forms lately because I use a free form service, FormSpree, that on submission opens a new window. On submission opens a new window, but it doesn't clear the form. So when the user comes back to the tab, their form is still filled in. I also kind of like disabling the button. ChatGPT tells me not to do that. ChatGPT says that's not a good user experience. But I feel like if you include a reset button to clear the form and also clear the disabled attribute, that feels like it's okay to me. But I don't know. I'm also going to take out this password. And I think this can be our form. Let's put novalidate on the form, and we will do our own validation, which means that we're going to need an error message. So we'll do a paragraph tag here. And I'll say ID. It'd be kind of nice to loop through these also. When I learned how to do the form validation, I was doing every single individual input. Maybe it would be a good idea to loop through these. So I'm going to do ID name required, and then I'll do a class of error message. And we'll say, please fill in your name. The other thing that I learned about form validation is that form validation is not really about security. It's about user experience. Security happens on the server, which is why I don't like running an email server. I really prefer to use a third-party service. Let them deal with all of the security issues. I do like to have hidden attributes in my forms to capture the URL of the page. Even if you have a website that is relatively small and you only have a contact form or any kind of form on one page, I think it's good to capture the URL of the page where the form has been submitted, because we all know that anybody can go into the browser and grab your endpoint and use that for anything they want. So if you're like me and for years you were getting submissions and you were like, how are my honeypots or how are my hidden fields being bypassed? That's the reason why. It's because anybody can go into the browser and do anything that they want. And your honeypots, they really don't deter anybody but the lowest level spammers or bots, right? However, if you have hidden fields and the hidden fields aren't being captured in your data, but the submission looks like it could be legitimate, because I've gotten a few submissions where I'm like, is this legit? Is this real? I'm not sure, but my hidden fields didn't get captured. So that's how I know that it's not legit, if my hidden fields didn't get captured. So I don't know. And to me, it is no effort whatsoever to just put a couple hidden fields in. You could still put a honeypot in if it makes you feel better. I'm not sure it does anything significant. So we'll say input, type, hidden, and value. I'm just going to leave that empty, and we'll capture that dynamically. So input type hidden value, and then I'm going to say, what am I going to say? Name. I usually do two. So we could get the origin and the path name. That's usually what I do. So name, I'm just going to say origin. And here, name can be path name. And then we'll grab those values dynamically with JavaScript. So one moment. And no one is here. No one is also a mod in the chat. We haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming to hang out. Okay. So we'll grab these with window location when we do, whoops, wrong page. There we go, with validation. Okay. So this will be email required. Please fill in your email. I mean, I'm not going to make this required. I would make this required. Contact, or maybe say method required. Please indicate your preferred contact method. Please select your preferred contact method. Interests, we can leave that. Message, we can leave that. So we would probably, if we're going to have a radio button for phone, so do I want to, well, I'm going to have to require one or the other. Can we do that programmatically? Just make sure that one or the other is filled in. Why would I ask though, if they're only filling in one? Why would I ask? You know what? Maybe we don't need to ask this question. For a fake website and a form that I will never use. So I'm going to do but This is type tell. No, I'm not going to make that required. Okay, so you can, I mean, the decision making that goes into making a fake form, I'm telling you, it's agony sometimes. So we have a name, email, phone number. Name and email are going to be required. Phone number can be optional. Topic can be optional. Interest can be optional. They're the same values. It doesn't matter. It's a fake form that I will never use. Message. Okay, so we have some required. We have some most not required. This is no validate, so we're removing the built-in HTML JavaScript validation, right? Or really it's HTML validation. So I'm not going to put required fields here because with no validate, it completely disregards them. We do have error messages for the 2 required fields. We also need autocomplete. Autocomplete. And this is just going to be name. And then autocomplete. This will be email. And then autocomplete. This will be phone. Wait, tell. I think it's tell. I don't think we need autocomplete for checkboxes, select, text area. And these should be hidden. So we're just going to put a hidden attribute here. All right. Whew. Good grief. And then here are our buttons. I'm going to put a container around this. So I'm just going to say div form buttons. And then I want to style these a little bit different, add a couple styles here to this. So where's our form? Here. Okay. Let's do this. And I'm going to say display flex, flex, flow, row, no wrap, space, justify content, space between, align items, center. So that should put it on the far left and right. And then the reset button, I don't want to look like a button at all. So I'm actually going to take out these styles. Yeah. So I'm going to give this a class of reset button. And we'll give this a unique style. Anytime you have a reset button on a form, don't make it look like the submit button. Don't give people the chance to accidentally click the reset button and delete their entire form. This is my best advice. So I'm going to put the reset button here. And we'll just make it, it basically looks kind of the way I already want it to. So we'll say color Whoops. We'll give it our accent color. I'm going to give it a text decoration underline, text decoration line. We'll also give this our accent color. Oh. Probably have to say text decoration underline. What? Come on. Where are you? Come on. Am I losing my mind? Where's my underline? Oh, text decoration color, probably. There we go. Okay. Okay, and that's actually a little beefy. Take that down. And then I want a text decoration offset. Text. I can't remember. Underline offset. This I think I want to be 3 pixels. Yeah, there we go. So this is going to be our reset button, distinct from the submit button. And let's just make sure that this has a focus hover active, because that is a good thing to do. Focus. Hover. Active. And we are going to transition this, just the color. And we're going to transition it to transparent. And then we'll give this a transition. (300 milliseconds), ease in, out. Whoops. There we go. All right. Well, I think now we need to, so let's see what happens if we just, without any validation or anything, what happens when you click the button. Nothing. Well, we go to just a blank page, right? So let's do target blank, and then we're not going to constantly have to go back. There. So that's what would happen. That's what would happen if we were using an endpoint, right? And again, I'm not even, if you were paying for a third party or you had it set up so you could go to a custom thank you page, it would be a different experience, right? I'm, I wouldn't say I'm cheap. I would just say I don't pay for a third party email service because I don't get that many emails. So I'm kind of working with what I have, and I encourage other people to do the same thing. There's nothing wrong with getting a little bit creative to find a good solution. We pay for so many things. You don't have to pay for everything if there's a free version and you're not using enough of the free version to want to pay for the paid version. There's nothing wrong with that. So, okay. So we know now that we need to put in our JavaScript for the validation. So let's just test, because we're going to get some value out of the reset button. But the reset button is only going to clear the fields. It's not going to clear these right here, our error messages. So we are going to need a little help with the reset button for that as well. So Heidi at so we would submit, and then if somebody came back, things are still filled in here, but the reset button will at least take care of that. So we just need an extra click event for the reset button to clear our fields, and of course that's not happening. We need JavaScript for that. So we will do that now. Over here. All right. So here's our modules. We'll say form validation.js. We'll add that here. Oh. So we want export default init form validation. Why isn't it filling it in automatically? Oh, got the word function. There we go. Okay. Let me see here. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to refer to my 30 days of vanilla JavaScript site and the conditional form fields. I'll show you exactly what I'm going to look at because I don't have this memorized. And the whole point of this was that I had something to refer to, right? I'll put that in the chat. And no one says, wish I could join the streams more often, but work and I am trying to improve my backend DevOps skills, keep me busy lately, so unfortunately can't join regularly. Yeah, join whenever you can. We are always here. I'm not going anywhere. Join whenever you can. All right. All right. So we have a form class form. We'll start, put this down here. Close this. So I will make that our root element. Query selector form. And then if there's no form, if there's no root, then return. And then what else do we need here? So we've got name interest. So we have, this is our interests. Root, query selector all, and this is an input with a name equal to interests. No, why are you adding? Stop. Input name equals interests. Why is it doing that? Oh, I know why. Okay, there we go. What else do we need here? See, this is type text, this is type email, this is type telephone. I wish I could just like for each through those, but only these two are required and this one isn't. So why would I even need to for that? I don't need validation for this. I mean, I guess I don't need validation for this either because it's not a required field. So I guess I do only need it for, yeah, the validation's only for these two fields. And then I just have to fill in these two hidden fields. So I don't even need this. Okay. That makes it easier. So we'll just get the name. Equals name. And then we'll get the email. That does make it easier. Then it's an input with the name equal to email. Okay, and then we'll get our error messages. So this will be the name error is equal to the root. Query selector. Yeah, I guess we will do the ID. All right. Yeah, we don't have any hidden, we don't have any conditional fields. So we'll just do then our event listener on the entire form, right? So it'll be add event listener, and we're looking for the submit. And if the name value equals null, or the name value is equal to an empty string, because those two things are different, we want to prevent the default. And then the name error hidden will be equal to false. So we'll show the error. And then we want to return, we want to stop. Else the name error, whoops, with the hidden attribute is equal to true. Whoops. And then we're pretty much going to do the exact same thing for the email. Okay, so that's everything for the submit, the event listener for the submit. And then we want to do a reset for the reset button. Oh, I don't think I got the reset button. That's why it's doing that. Okay. The root, query selector. I think it's just reset button. So we'll do reset, add event listener, click. And then we just want to make sure that on reset, well, the reset button is going to clear the fields. We just need it to also clear the error messages. Whoops. I think the final thing that we want to do is we want to get, this is just something that I like to do. And I think there's an easier way to do this. Where did I just do this? And then I just think that it's just origin value is equal to window location origin, and then path value is equal to window location path name, right? Technically, well, if you really want it to be dynamic though, right? I can't just set value. Do I have to do this like on click? I can't just set this like on page load. Oh, what did I do wrong here? What don't you like? It's a button. You doesn't need, you can click anything. Oh. You're inside the form element, so that shouldn't matter. So here's the form. What don't you like here? I don't know why I'm getting an error here. I'm not inside of this, am I? No. Everything else is scoped correctly. Actually, nothing's even working right now, so let's see why this isn't even working. Okay, first things first. Let's see if our other stuff works first. So if we submit, so it shouldn't be submitting. If the name value we know the reset was working. Oh, up here. I guess we're not scoped after all. Hang on. So it's still opening a new window. It shouldn't be opening a new window. It should be stopping. So this should be, I'm guessing this is okay now. Yep, that's okay. Oh, and there. There we go. Now when we click submit again, this should clear and we should see the next one. There we go. And we should also be able to reset and clear the form and the errors. There. Huh. Okay. All good mistakes to make. All good mistakes to make. Let's style those error messages so they're red. They stand out. Those are styles. Do I have an error message here someplace? Maybe not. Okay. It's error message. Let's make this underscore. So what I think we should do is that, although once you fill it in, maybe once this field has a value, we're not really doing like a pattern, right? I'm against that. I think that's a bad idea. Putting in padding or a pattern to make sure that an email address matches a pattern is a bad idea. I don't recommend it. You will end up excluding people more than including correct email addresses. But also, if there is a value here, I kind of would like this to be cleared, right? Is that something that I should be worrying about? Except that we wouldn't, it would be like a change, right? So this event listener is submit. We would be looking for a change. So would we do an extra? I mean, technically, should we just put inside here? Or we could just do, I mean, should we? Is that something that I should even worry about? Because once you come down here and you're like filling in more numbers and things, wouldn't you expect this to go away? So then you come back and you would reset. I don't know. I mean, well, let's try it. I don't know. I feel like, and isn't it just change? Is it change or input? Maybe it's input. So maybe for input, as soon as they start, well, but would it be on the root or would it be on name or email? I feel like it would be name. So once you start typing in the name, we would hide this. And then you could do the same for email. So submit. I think I kind of like that. Yeah, I like that. That was simple. Yeah, let's stick with that. Let's also make sure let's also just do something that indicates these are required. That does not need to be complicated at all. So here's the placeholder. I'm actually just going to say name, parentheses, required. I think the best user experience is just saying exactly what you want people to do. And then phone. We'll say phone optional. There. There is no question about what is required and what is not required now. So it shouldn't be a surprise that you need to fill that in. So adding a pattern is not going to keep people from misspelling an email address. You can pattern, regex, do whatever you want to try and verify email addresses. But I just misspelled my own name, which would be a wrong email address. You cannot pattern your way out of that. And then people would come back and they could just reset or on page load. I still would, you know what I would like to do though, on page load, I would like to see these values filled in. I think that we should be able to do that. Oh, whoops. No, I didn't mean to take those out there. Here. I want to look under the hood and see these filled in. There. That's exactly what I want. So the reason I do this is A, you could have multiple forms on your website, and I think you should always know the URL of the page where that is coming from. If I promise you, your marketing team, your analytics people, whatever, even if it's just a small site for yourself or your client and you have more than one form, I think it's good to know which page they were filling out that form on, right? Number two, especially if you have a lot of landing pages. Number two, if you have data that comes through on your form and you have any question about whether or not it might be a legitimate lead, if these two values aren't filled in, if that data doesn't come through, you know that that's more than likely spam. That is spam. They took your endpoint. They're doing whatever they want with it. That's why honeypots are pointless, in my opinion. So that's it. That's exactly what I want. So this was a good one. I enjoyed this. This was a good one. Well, here's our contact page. What do we think? I kind of feel like we maybe don't need this giant hero. There. I think this is fine. I don't know if I really need this either. There. Perfectly respectable contact me page with a little bit of form validation. All right, well, let's go ahead and so tiny. Let's go ahead and commit our work, and I think we can call it a day. Yeah. You could probably, if you had a bunch of fields that were required and you wanted to hide these on input, you could probably just for each through those, but we only have two, so I think this is fine. All right. Well, it was a quiet day. Do me a favor, if you would be so kind, and if you haven't already, would you please like this video? It helps the algorithm, helps get this pushed out to more people who might be interested in this type of content, helps the channel grow. And if you haven't yet, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? I would love to have you. I'm here 4 days a week, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. I've been putting out a lot more content lately. Well, I've been posting every single day. I think I've posted 9 videos in a row. Boy, that's a thing to get used to. But the last, 5-6 weeks, I've been doing a deeper dive into JavaScript. And once the 30 days of vanilla JavaScript project ended, I was committed to still practicing every day. And I knew day one, as soon as I finished that, my first sort of offline challenge, I was like, okay, this is the content. This is the content that I should be making. And I mean, I love it. I love it. I feel like I'm finally learning JavaScript, and I finally found content that I really enjoy making. Making content, recording, editing, posting, it is so much different from streaming. It's completely different. But I am at a stage with my channel where I do need to start posting. I think I've shown that you can definitely grow just from live streaming, but it's slow. It's very slow. Although ChatGPT told me that I was in the top 5% of all YouTubers. The top 10% never get to 1,000 subscribers. The top 10% get to 1,000 subscribers. The top 5% get their channels monetized. So I guess that officially means I'm in the top 5%. So, and I want to keep growing the channel. I want to keep making front-end development content because I love front-end. I love being a developer. So, and I get to share that all with you. Thank you to everybody who hung out in the chat with me today. Malik Robinson and No One were our mods in the chat. Dante was also here hanging out. Appreciate everybody who comes to spend time with me. I'll be back on Tuesday. I think we can get this wrapped up this week. That's my goal. I'd like to get it wrapped up Tuesday, Thursday, and we will move on to the next project. I have no idea what I'm doing next yet. I have a few ideas, but I haven't decided on anything. So, and with that being said, have a happy Mother's Day. Hopefully you will be able to spend some time with your mom, and I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye-bye.